Hey writers, Denise Renee here, content strategist, book writing coach, and editor. And today I have my first collaboration on this channel, and it's with none other than Carol J. Dunlop of Creative Services International. Now, Carol is the creator of Wow Websites, and she's here to tell us all about how to create an author website. So although you have your book, you need a website too. So in this video, we're going to cover why authors need a website, what should be included in that website, common DIY website mistakes, and how to get more traffic to your author website. Now you need to stick around because towards the end, I've got a special bonus for you. But for right now, let's jump on in, learn a little bit more about Carol, and get to all of those juicy topics I promised.
I'm Carol J. Dunlop, the online wow strategist. So me being a web designer and really I call myself an online wow strategist, because when you go to the websites that I produce for my clients, I want you to say, oh my gosh, really? I want to evoke that feeling of awesomeness and like empowerment and like they know exactly who I am. So that's my thing in the world.
I work with people who typically want to write a book to either grow their career, grow their personal brands. So basically they're in the nonfiction space. Although I do have some fiction clients. One of my fiction clients just published her novel this past summer.
Awesome.
But for the most part, I work with business people or professionals, and they want to use that book to, get speaking gigs. They want to go into consulting. Some people want to kind of position themselves for that C-suite role or their next C-suite role.
Right.
Great for politicians, doctors, lawyers, those kinds of people. So we're talking about people who are going to share their expertise, or sometimes they're sharing their story, but it relates to, their career or their business or their brand. Right. So sometimes people are thinking, well, all I need, I just need to write this book and that's just it. But I'd love for you to tell us why authors should have their own website.
That is the question. And I love it when people say, well, I'll just write this book and make $1 million and go retire.
You're on Amazon and that's it.
Yeah, there you go. We don't have to do nothing. But the thing is, especially if you're putting your book on Amazon, which is, Amazon is a huge thing. I love Amazon. All my books are on Amazon, but it's Amazon. And there are millions of people who are visiting Amazon. They may or may not find your book. But what about you going, trying to get yourself on a local talk show, on the news, on Good Day Atlanta, or whatever your thing is, or just getting on some podcasts? You can't just tell people, go get my book on Amazon, because you know what happens with all that stuff that's going on, these things that are flying about, all these books, people get distracted. They're not even going to find your book for one. And if they do, Amazon is saying, hey, if you like this book, you like these other books. So they're always trying to make more money off of you and yourself, because they don't care about you. I'm just going to say they don't care about you.
Nope.
But you having your own website where you promote your book in your space that you control, you are doing what a lot of authors don't do. Because now when the people come to your website that you've directed them to, they can find out more about you. Why did you write this book? What kind of book is this? How is this your first book you've ever written? Or is this a series of books? What did you do before this? They get to like experience your story because your website showcases it. It not only showcases the book, and I'll tell you one thing. Usually when you write one book, you're going to write another one. It's just not like one of those one-hit wonder things, because we can do books so many times over now. You have these ideas. I know I have these ideas about coloring books and journals and regular traditional books and all kind of things that we could do to help our audience. So if you write one book and you put it on Amazon and you don't want a website, well, I'm just sorry for you. But let me just say this, you can do that. But what if you have 2, 3, 4, 5 books? You can't leave it to Amazon to showcase all those books all at once. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Even if you try to make them do it, they may or may not do it. Yes, in that little window. But your website is a place where you can showcase all of your books or any of the books that are upcoming. And you can use your blog, as I like to say, to take a little piece of your brain out and share it with your audience so they can, guess what, get to know, get to like, get to trust you, and start buying and keep buying from you over and over again. Because in the end, Even if we say, no, I don't want to make $1 million, but you'd want to make $1 or $2 or get a couple of followers. It is
Girl,
nothing.
I want a couple million.
I'm telling you, I want to make money.
I want a billion or two in there too.
No, I ain't gonna lie, because I like glasses, I like clothes, I like to eat, and I like to live in a house that doesn't rain on me. So I want money. And the main reason that I share things with my audience in book form or however I do it is because I want them to buy it because it is valuable to them. Let me say that again. I want them to buy it because it is valuable to them. I'm not giving them junk. They know the books that I write, the things that I put on my website, how I set it up. They know that it's all valuable information. Hence why we're doing this collaboration today to show you that you need to be valuable. So when you have your website, whether it is just about the one book or all the books, people get to see more about you. They see you, the star, you, the author. And I don't know if y'all know this or not, but when you tell someone that you are the author of a book, they just, oh my God, really? You wrote a book? Because a book is hard. I don't care if it's a journal or low content, high content, whatever. It's hard to do it. So when you say that you've done it, they're like, oh, wow. And then this is my thing. Then telling them that you are a best-selling author, they're like, oh my goodness, what? Their ears are perked. They're immediately thinking that you are an authority, and then they're going to follow you. So where are you going to lead them? To your Amazon page to buy your book? No, you're going to lead them back to the website so they can get more information, get on your email list, and so you can start talking to them and selling them the other stuff that you have in addition to your book.
Hello. Right? Well, speaking of that, so what are some of the things that an author should have on their website?
I'm glad you asked that. So number one, you need to have the book there so people can buy it. Talking about the book, why you wrote the book, it can have its own separate page, or the whole website can be dedicated to the book. But you dedicated to the book. But you do need to talk about yourself. So you need an about page that talks about you, why you wrote it, how you wrote it, what was the story behind it. People really get into that stuff. Yeah, they do. You also need, you've got the book page. You need a contact page that says, hey, if you want to get in contact with me to find out about other books or get on my list or whatever, this is how you contact me. This is how you find me. I'm on social media. Get all of your contact information. And the most important thing you need to have on that website is your blog. And your blog is what helps people to really get to know you, because you can take your book and each chapter of your book and turn it into maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blogs. You know, I took my first book and turned it into a podcast and a summit, and then another book, which then became a summit and a podcast. So you see how things kind of go round and round and round and round. And those things aren't costing you extra money. The book was like the beginning of the thing. And then now you got this website. Now you're doing this podcast. Now you're doing a summit. You're all over the place. People are thinking like, oh my God, I remember when she wasn't even an author. And now, wow, she's a blah, 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 best-selling author. She does these other things. She's out there in front of people, because when people, the more that people can see you out there in front of them talking the same stuff, you can't talk different things. You got to talk the same stuff, you know, talking the same stuff about how to do this. And you're talking to the similar crowds. People are going to get more respect from you, get more respect for you, and then want to see you more. And they will follow you back to your website to see, hey, what is this person about? And what else can I get from them? I got to get it now.
Okay. So what are some mistakes or some no-nos that authors make when creating their author website?
Oh, that is a good question. One of the biggest no-nos is making that website all about you. You. The thing is, people don't care about you. They like you as an author. They're like, okay, you wrote a good book, but they want to know how this book, how your website, how you are going to help them. It's really that station, like what's in it for me, WYFF. Is that what's in it for me? Y'all
WIF.
You know, they're always thinking about what's in it for me. Even if it's a journal, even if you've written a journal, you know, and you're putting a website up for it, they still don't know, why should I buy this journal? What's in it for me? So when they go to your website, they want to know what's in it for me. They don't care that you are a Rhodes Scholar. They don't care that you were appointed by the last president. They don't care about all this stuff. It may be a wow factor, like, oh, but what's that got to do with me? Tell me what you're going to do with me. And a book coach who, you know, Anita Henderson.
Okay, yeah.
told me that in the book, in the very beginning, when I started my book, she was like, what do you want people to think, do, or feel once they read your book? So you take that same thing and put it on your website. What do you want them to think, do, or feel? And mainly it's probably going to be the do thing. What do you want them to do? That's why, like illustriously, Denise Renee did this with the call to action that you did. You want to make sure that you give them a call to action. You have to tell people what to do. So if you don't have a call to action anywhere on your site, and a simple call to action would be buy the book, right? But there are other call to actions you could have on other pages, like on your contact page. You may want them to follow me on social media, get in touch with me. And then you have your blog where you have pieces of things that you're giving them. Like my first book, every chapter had like a checklist or a cheat sheet or something that they could get. And guess where they had to get that from? My website. Yes, you go to my website and get this for free.
That's how you build a list. Now that is a gem right there, because, and this is what I'm always telling the authors that I'm coaching, you have to have some kind of lead magnet embedded in your book that gets people out of the pages of your book and onto your email list.
Yes.
It's great that you got $20 from them from the book, but more valuable than that is that little email address, because when you're ready to give out the next book, when you're ready to offer your coaching services, when you're ready to launch this product, you have somewhere to launch it to.
Exactly. Bingo.
So let me ask you this. So for someone who may be doing a DIY website, like they're like, okay, let me get this Wix.com. But like I said, I was like, start somewhere, right? So if they're using some kind of DIY tools, or they're just trying to put it together themselves, maybe they're not at the budget level. Maybe they spend all their money on editing with me, and they got money over for their website for you.
That is a perfect situation.
Right? So what are some tools that they can use to do a DIY website?
Okay, first thing I will tell you, do not do that W site. Do not do that S site either. You need to do WordPress.
I am a WordPress queen, let me tell you. But anyway, go ahead.
And the reason that I say that is because a lot of these companies say it's easy peasy, drag and drop, quickly. They show, even, a couple of them have commercials, and the person is just sitting there just typing away, and their website is just coming into fruition in front of them. And no, ma'am. You really have to learn that platform. You really do have to learn that platform. As a matter of fact, the last website that I just did was someone who came from the S thing, and I don't want to put them down or anything. They're just not for me. They came from that. Yeah. And they were like, I could not understand whatever was going on. And they came to me and they said, Carol, because I did one of the ladies' websites. Like, I just went to go to my girl, Carol. I know she'll straighten it out. Totally redid the whole website for them. And now they have something functional. WordPress is easy to use. Yes. And you own it. It's not. Yes. And I'm an advocate for keeping control of as much stuff as you can, because I'm going to tell you, if you listen to this platform, if you subscribe to that platform, if you do this thing, you have your intellectual property spread everywhere.
Read those terms and conditions, because some of these sites, they say that they own the stuff that you put on their sites.
Yes. And they can shut you down if you're not doing what they think you should be doing it in the way. What if they shut you down quick? That's why I like WordPress, and not the WordPress.com. We can go up and open your free WordPress.org, where you can download the software or go
to. You got to pay for a server, honey.
Yes, you got to pay for hosting. Pay for hosting. Somewhere like A2 Hosting, love them. You do have to cough it up. And I like to look at it like this: you cannot operate your business for free. I don't care how you try. It's not going to go very long.
I don't want to tell you how much I pay for hosting and how much I pay for. I have a very marketing theme focused. It's called Thrive Themes. They just hit my bank account a couple of days ago, but I'm like, yes, it's worth it.
Yes, Thrive Themes is one of the things that I talk about that you can use. Now, that is not really, it's not cheap. I'm just going to say
No,
it's not cheap because
they
you
just
pay
hit my
for them.
bank account the other day. So I was like,
Right. You pay for them when you start using them. Now, if you want something like you're not sure, WordPress is the first thing because WordPress is free. Just find a host like A2 Hosting. They are the bomb, I can tell you, but there are others like HostGator, Bluehost, Greenhost, HostMonster, all kind of hosts. But just make sure that they support WordPress websites.
mm-hmm.
So just make sure that, and then yes, and then we can go forward. Now, another or a competitor to Thrive Themes is Elementor. And the main difference between Elementor and Thrive Themes is that Elementor has a free version that you can use with templates that are available that you can use as well. So if you're like, I'm doing this bootstrapping all the way myself, their templates are awesome and you can use them, choose a template that you want, and then you can just switch out what you want to put in there. Because I customize stuff for Elementor a lot. I had a client who taught me about Thrive Themes because I had to learn that because that's what he did. So I know about Thrive Themes. They are very, very similar. There are some differences between them. And for a while I was going Thrive, Elementor. I'm the Elementor girl. Denise Renee is the Thrive girl. But that's okay. They are both.
I was with Thrive from years ago. It used to be a bit more, I wouldn't say technical, but it was a bit more difficult to navigate before.
It was more
now their later updates over the last 2-3 years has become easier. And I'm like, but I already know the old way.
Right. But they're easy. They're both easy.
It is easier to use.
Right. WordPress itself is easy to use. It's scalable. I can show you how to use it really quickly. There are only two or three things that you really need to know. So those are the freebie type of easily accessible things that can help you, and Elementor is one of them. Of course, it does have an upgrade to Pro if you want to do that, really get into it, but just get your feet wet, get in there. WordPress, find a host that does WordPress, and you're going to pay anywhere from $10 to $25 a month, depending on the host that you go with. So count on that. And then you have Elementor, which is free. If you want to go up to the upgrade, then that's going to be like, I think $50 or $60 a year to do that. But you can always do Thrive Themes as well. Thrive Themes in itself is a bundle of different products. It's not just one thing. And that's what I liked about them too.
It's
and
very marketing focused.
Yeah,
so
it's very
all
marketing
the things that you need, like landing pages, lead capture, you don't have to buy a bunch of different other programs and plugins. It's all in one thing. And to me, that's why it's worth it for me to pay for it. And people ask me all the time, like, who did your site? I'm like, me. They're like, you did that? I'm like, sure.
Yes, and you can. It's not that you can't do a site. Yes. You can do it.
But you gotta sit down and focus and learn it and do it, and you'll be all right.
You gotta do it the right way, or it's not gonna look good. I'm telling you.
But I mean, I'm a copywriter, so I know what
Yes.
Okay, I've got one final question for you. And I think probably the most important question, and that is, let's say our author has put together their website. This is great. And, they're out there chugging along, doing what they do to promote themselves, promote their book. And so, they're getting their own website traffic, but it's not like droves and droves of people. What can somebody do to put their website in front of the strangers who may be, Googling and searching for stuff? What can they do to attract more people to their website outside of their own personal, one-on-one interactions?
Number one thing they can do is SEO, search engine optimization. And that is scaring people to death. It used to scare people even more. Oh my God, how am I going to optimize my site? But basically, Denise Renee said it. What keywords are you going to use? You have to think about your audience, what they're looking for, what their problem is, and think if they were going to a website. Now, you really do have to think. I'm serious. If they're going to a website, what are the words that they're going to put into that browser to get the information they want? And I like to use busy moms who are looking for quick recipes. And that would be, can I find a quick, healthy recipe for I'm a busy mom or something like that? What out of that sentence would they put in there? And then when they put those words in there, what comes up? What do you see? What blogs, what pages, whatever comes up when they put those words in there? So what are your keywords? The first thing is to decide what your keywords are for your business that you're going to use all over the place. And I'll give you a great example. I follow this lady named Stephanie Perry, and she is a house sitter, a Black lady who's a house sitter who bops around the world, and she talks to Black women about escaping the U.S. Now, we're not going to go down that whole road, but that's
what her name is. What my name is?
Her name is Stephanie Perry,
and
her keyword that she follows is Black expat, Black women expats, I think. But her YouTube channel is Stephanie Perry, and
StephaniePerry.
I'll cut this part out. Yeah, Stephanie Perry.
Oh no, that's okay. Because
I'll cut this part out. I cut what I said out. But she talks about how Black women can become Black expats and either do house sitting around the world and not work because you're doing house sitting, or how you can escape the United States and go to any country that you want. And she talks about the countries and stuff. So her thing is Black expat, Black women expats. That's what her keyword is. And she uses it everywhere. And I remember a year ago, she was saying that she's going heavy on that Black women expat. And now I think her YouTube channel is 150,000 people.
She'll be 150,001 in a second.
Yes, I follow her. They are amazing. And this is to everyone out there, because this is going into the description and all of that. They have this thing called the Exodus Summit that they do once a year, where they have a bunch of expats, Black women expats who come on, and their thing is just for Black women. I'm sorry, white women. I'm sorry, any other kind of man. You cannot get into the group. You have to show a picture, and it's for Black women only. Talk about niching down Black women expats. And they have a lot of information. So you got to think like that. You got to think like, how can I get this community going? Yes, definitely. And those are the words you're going to start with, and putting them on every page on your website. Talking about it in everything that you do, making sure that you're putting those words, whatever your words are, whatever they are, your keywords, putting them in and making sure they're throughout your website. What does that do? Google, who is sitting around there, kind of, oh, what website? Oh, this website seems to be talking about whatever this keyword is. Direct like 100,000 people to that site right there. Now, I'm not going to say instantaneously you're going to do that, but the more popular your keyword is and the least amount of competition, I mean, a lot of people don't know about it, but a lot of people are typing it in, the better off you are in getting people to you. And the more unique you can be, but while still resonating with your audience, that's how you're going to capture those people that you didn't even know about to your website. That was a long answer with greatness included.
Okay, it's long, but it's necessary. So, I mean, yes. We're here to really deliver value to people. So, and I know people really have these questions. It's like, okay, this is great that I have this website, but I need people coming to my website. So yes. This is how you do it. It is through SEO. And SEO, it takes time to develop, but it's like once you kind of hit your stride, it just kind of takes off exponentially. That's what I'm looking for, exponentially.
There you go.
Thank you so much for making time to share this information with my audience.
Oh, well, thank you for making time to share this information with my audience. And I almost forgot about the little gift that I have for everyone. So if you really want to know, got to do CTA, y'all. Come on now. I've been talking about it. But if you really want to know how to put a wow website together, which is a wow website, which is what we've been talking about, that greets your ideal client right when they get there. So they think, oh my God, where have you been? Then go to my website, csicorporation.com/planner, and download your free wow website planner and get going on that wow website so you can get some of that SEO juice in your site.
Absolutely.
Want the link for Carol's free download? It's in the description box below. It's bonus time. Okay, so not only did I interview Carol, but she interviewed me all about DIY copywriting. So if you've ever wanted to know how you can do your own copywriting specifically on your website, that's everything that I share. Here's a little sneak peek.
Copywriting is basically all of the words that you see in any type of marketing, branding, advertising. It's called copy. So headlines on a newspaper or in a magazine. When you go to, like, my favorite place to look at headlines is when I'm at Kroger or Publix and I'm looking at the what you call it,
the magazine.
tabloids. Child, those
Yes.
headlines begin
Yes.
like, what? Who? They said what? They did what?
I know.
You're going to pick it up and start reading,
Mhm.
right? That right there is the power of great copy. It gets you interested in finding out more about whatever it is you're looking for.
Right.
Copy is in everything. So even in you, if you're a video marketer, it's in your videos, it's in your hooks, it's in your email
Right.
subject lines, what you said, how you structure even a video script. I can go on and on. But bringing it back down to your website, you really want to give the visitors to your website an experience, and you have to know what the end result is. So me and my marketing brain, my thing for a website is to you have to decide whether you are either just giving information or if you are really trying to get conversions from your website. So you want someone to move from being just a casual viewer of your website to actually taking an action. That action might be getting onto your email list. That action might be booking a consultation with you. That action might be buying something, that you have for sale, if it's an e-commerce site. So the words that you use on your site are going to either motivate the right customer. If you've attracted that right customer to your website, it's either going to motivate them to take the action, the desired actions that you want to, or it's going to let somebody know, you know what, this is not exactly what I want or need. I'm out of here.
Right.
And that's fine too, right? So you want the clients that you want your pre-qualified clients, and the ones who are not, meant to work with you. Bye.
Yes.
There's a little in sync action going on there. So that's copy in a nutshell.
A big nutshell, but a nutshell.
In a big nutshell. So I think you asked the question, how do we get started? Well, number one is understanding what copy is and what it can do. Number two, you have to...
Okay, that's enough of that. If you want to see that full interview and get all the juicy tidbits that I share, head on over to Carol's channel at CSI Corporation. I put the link for the video down in the description box because you really want to go over there, because I go over different components of your website copywriting strategy and how to use AI to write better copy for your website. Now, while you're over at Carol's channel, make sure you like and subscribe to that video. But wait. You got to like this video and let me know what you think about it. Plus, subscribe if you aren't already. Want to know more about how to use AI to help you write that website copy? Then check out this video next.